Welcome to Columbia, Missouri. It is time for some more SEC football right here on the SEC Network. The Missouri Tigers, one game under 500. South Carolina, one game over 500 as they shocked the world with a dominating performance last week against the Florida Gators. Dave Neal alongside Deuce McAllister, Andrea Carter down on the sidelines. She'll join us here in just a moment. But South Carolina ready to go. The Gamecocks in their white jerseys today, black pants, and really the story for them is the quarterback situation. Both these teams have had some drama, but Jason Brown was the story last week, transfers in from FCS, and they put up a season high in offense. Why did it work so well last week?
I think it's his approach, Dave. I think it's how he prepares to go out and play. Even though you're listed number 3 on the depth chart, he's still preparing to be a starter, and last week when he had that opportunity, he goes out and he shows it and he proves it.
Fifth-year seniors played some football at St. Francis, but was welcomed into the world of SEC football in a major way with his first career start with the Gamecocks last Saturday night in Columbia, and really just put on a fantastic performance, as did this entire Gamecock team. Meanwhile, Missouri coming off that loss in Athens to the University of Georgia, and you always hear coaches say, you don't let a team beat you twice. We'll see how that game plays out today for Missouri as they're chasing a bowl game much like South Carolina. So here comes this Gamecock offense behind that young man right there, 6'3", 230 pounds. Moves a lot better than you would think for his size. Anybody that watched that game last week saw him spin and move out of trouble. We'll see if he can do it today against this Missouri defense.
Look for South Carolina to get him going with some rhythm throws to be able to make him feel comfortable in the pocket. Obviously, you talked about him being able to move as well in the pocket. I think that'll be critical for him from a confidence standpoint.
I think we're having some play clock issues to get this one started, but apparently got that all figured out. The referee today, Jason Autry, will handle things. He'll be wearing the white hat. Jason Brown's first throw comes near side. Quandre White gets the start at running back, and he'll get it out over the 30 to the 36-yard line. Excuse me, the 31-yard line. So gain of 6 as South Carolina using a little tempo. Jason Brown last week, 14 out of 24 on the year. He's completed 26 out of 44 passes. That is just shy of 59%. Brown steps up in the pocket, and that one is picked off by Missouri around the 42-yard line. Chris Abrams-Drain with the interception. His third pick of the year. And as Brown throws it away, now Missouri will have the football and their first possession of the game. And for more on the quarterback situation for the Tigers, let's go down to Andrea.
Yeah, guys, yesterday head coach Eli Drinkwitz told us that Connor Bazelak was at about 85%, and the ultimate test was to see if he could protect himself in practice. I was able to go to practice, and he looked solid, moving around in the pocket. I saw some bootleg action, didn't see any wincing or limping. We'll see if he can execute and move against this South Carolina defense. 3 300-yard games this year for Connor Bazelak, and the good news for Connor is he can hand it off to that guy, Tyler Beatty, all day long. One of the best running backs, dual threat backs in the entire country, picks up 8. But for Connor Bazelak, interceptions have been kind of his Achilles this year. 8 of those, but he's thrown for 13 touchdowns, completing passes at 68%. Four-man rush, dumps it off to Beatty underneath. Tyler trying to get to that first down line, but sits around the 46-yard line, and he'll be just a bit shy of that.
Dave, you talked about having the ability to be able to turn around and just be able to hand the football off to Tyler Beatty. They're going to lean on him a lot against this South Carolina defense. I think their defensive front ranks up there as one of the top units in the SEC.
And the front four of Sterling, Ellis, Pickens, and Enagbare, a good, solid group. They will stand up on third down, but I think forward progress will give Missouri the first down.
That is probably a favorable spot, particularly the far official from us. From the looks of it, he is going to have that first down.
And here comes that Missouri tempo. Coach Drinkwitz also calling all the plays. The offensive coordinator, and that one is picked off. Floated in the air, and Cam Smith has an interception. Had his first career start against Missouri last year and had an interception, and gets the start today and has another pick.
And that one is a curious throw from Connor. It looked like they were trying to hurry up. They were trying to hurry up to maybe get the snap off, but I mean, he floats this ball all the way, and you're talking about all the way across here at the far hash, throwing it all the way to the numbers, and that is not a good throw whatsoever. That's an easy interception for the cornerback, Cam Smith.
Well, that is the 9th interception of the year for Connor Bazelak. Brown will come near side with it, gets it to the tight end. Jaheim Bell will be wrapped up after a gain of 3. So both teams have thrown it away in their opening possessions.
Hopefully you can get these quarterbacks to kind of settle down on that first interception of Jason Brown. He had a little pressure inside, but that ball had to be on the outside shoulder of the receiver, and Chris Abram-Drames, he played it perfectly to be able to pick it off.
Second down. Inside handoff. That one goes to Kevin Harris. Harris coming off an outstanding game. 128 yards on 16 carries against the Gators. It'll be a 6-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and a couple. Off the left side. And he may not have enough for that first down. Looks like they're going to spot it just outside the 35.
He's going to be short, but I don't think there's a question whatsoever from South Carolina with the package that they're sending in, kind of a heavy set. They're going to go for it here. Kind of trusting that offensive line in this situation.
So 4th and about a half a yard. Handoff right side, giving it to Harris. Oh, this is going to be close. Really, really close. It looks like they're going to spot it right on the 35, which should be enough, I think.
Yeah, if it's coming down to a measurement, it's going to probably be enough for a first down, but there's a signal right there from the official. I like the penetration that the defensive line from Missouri had. Chad Bailey did a nice job of filling in the gap, but I thought the second effort really was what picked up that first down for South Carolina.
Marshawn Lloyd in at running back. We've already seen 3 running backs for South Carolina. Oh, he's warped right as he hit it. They're going to call it incomplete. Martez Manuel came
really on the field. It's an incomplete forward pass. 2nd down.
Manuel doesn't respect the run blitz at all in that one. Oh. You know, that's a big time hit there by Manuel on Jason Brown. And, you know, you can see he's in the motion of throwing as far as the pass is concerned, but you can see, you know, Missouri being able to bring guys off of the edge and just bring some pressure here whenever South Carolina is trying to throw the football.
South Carolina didn't fumble that one away. They've lost 11 fumbles this year, most in the country. Brown throws it. Pass caught there by Lloyd. Turns the corner. He'll have it, but a flag is down. Around the 25-yard line in the middle of the field. 25-yard pickup if it holds, but we'll wait.
Yeah, I think that's going to be holding against Missouri defensively. We'll get the confirmation from the official here.
Holding, defense, number 14. The penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
Good call, Deuce. But the big story is Marshawn Lloyd is starting to look like the guy that everybody thought we would see a year ago. Got hurt, practiced just a couple of times and blew out his knee. And this past week took off that knee brace. Coaches say that it's changed his whole demeanor, just taking that knee brace off.
Well, he's feeling confident as well. This may be a direct snap here.
Kevin Harris lines up in a wildcat, trying to get the edge near side. Stiff arms to the 5, dives for the pylon. He'll be just short. They'll spot him back at the 2.
You see Jason Brown, the quarterback, be able to move right there out from under center, and it's direct snap to Kevin Harris. He feels like he could get the corner, and that's exactly what he did. on that play that was originally designed to go inside. And nice run, nice play there by Kevin Harris.
2nd and goal from the 2. Straight handoff. Harris looking for a little bit of a hole. Finds it. Touchdown, South Carolina. The 3rd rushing touchdown of the year for Kevin Harris.
Dave, we go back and look at this. This is just a power play, and Kevin Harris, he's able just to be able to find that soft spot in that against that defensive line as far as Missouri is concerned, and really get behind his offensive guard that was pulling there and be able to get right there in the A-gap for the score.
So Parker White will step onto the field to convert the point after, and he does so. 21 out of 21 in point afters. Well, this drive got started because South Carolina picks off Bazelak. They would take 8 plays after that. 45 yards, capped off by Kevin Harris from 2 yards out. Gamecocks lead it early. And welcome back to Faurot Field here at Memorial Stadium in Columbia, Missouri. The Tigers trailing 7-0. Each team threw an interception in their opening possession. South Carolina would take it 8 plays and 45 yards and put up the first touchdown of the game. After a 40-point performance last week, the most points they've ever scored against the Florida Gators. And that dominating win in Columbia, South Carolina, as these two teams battle it out for the Mayor's Cup. Elijah Young on the return out to the 25 and stuffed right there. Well, welcome into our broadcast position. Dave Neal alongside former Ole Miss great Deuce McAllister. And Deuce, this is kind of a playoff game, if you will. Both these teams with 3 games remaining in the regular season chasing down a bowl game. Missouri's 4 wins. They need 2, right, to get bowl eligible. South Carolina needs just 1. Both, you can kind of feel that this week from these coaches.
Yeah, you can definitely feel it from the coaches, and I think that's really where you don't want your players, pressing as far as their situation to go out there and try to make every play a home run play. And so hopefully these quarterbacks can get comfortable in what they're doing from the system as far as that is concerned.
We'll see if Bazelak can kind of settle in after that kind of pass that we both agree just kind of something we don't expect from him. A one that floats out to the wide side of the field, but gives it to Beatty there. Gain of a yard. I think some lost somewhat in the effort by this South Carolina offense last week was just how well their defense played against the Gators. South Carolina's defense giving up 23 points a game. That's right in the middle of the pack. 6th really in the Southeastern Conference. 54th in the country. Bazelak pressure comes and he is dropped. Delayed blitz from Damani Staley, and nobody saw him coming. I don't think Bazelak saw him coming.
Dave, when you look at it here, it's the fake, but I mean, when you talk about seeing them coming, it's way too late. And I know Tyler kind of it sees him late, but it is way too late. Damani Staley, that's just an outstanding job when you talk about just being able to fill that gap late.
After the 7-yard loss, they'll get it to Beatty. He's pushed out of bounds. As Bazelak kind of hobbles off the field, and punting situation now for Missouri. Let's go down to Andrea.
Yeah, guys, something to look out for. Missouri offensive lineman Bobby Lawrence came out of the injury tent and walked into the locker room. It looked like he was having trouble putting weight on his right leg. No official update, but remember, Lawrence was in for Hiron White, who was unavailable today. So Missouri's offensive line taking some hits.
Yeah, and Lawrence just a couple weeks ago was on the scout team. So they are really missing some bodies up front on that offensive line now for Missouri. The Tigers will punt it away. Not a good kick from McInnes. Matter of fact, it'll take a South Carolina bounce. Batted out of bounds around the 43, so another short field. Their last touchdown drive just went 45 yards. This one will start the 43.
Dave, and that's the pressing part where you talk about, having to make a play. You just need them to make normal plays. You already talk about up front, your offensive line kind of missing some guys, particularly on the right side, right tackle. Now your backup guy, he's been out, now he's down. Just a lot of pressure when you talk about pressing and trying to make plays.
First down and 10. Brown swings it near side. White with it, out of bounds, inside the 40. Today's 1st and 10 line brought to you by T-Mobile.
Right there you see Allie Green coming with he's the boundary corner. He comes with the corner crash off of the receiver. Jason Brown does a nice job of just sending a swing route to the running back to be able to pick up about 4 to 5 yards there.
2nd down and 6. Inside handoff goes to Harris. Picks up a couple of yards, so 3rd down and medium for South Carolina. The Gamecocks this year offensively on 3rd downs have not been very good overall. Just 35% conversion rate. That is 100th in the country.
Missouri likes to bring those exotic blitzes here in 3rd down. They get that package into the game. We'll see if they be aggressive here and try to get after Jason Brown with some type of look for them to play kind of man-to-man across with that trip formation as well.
They'll bring Van across the formation in motion, and that could be a free 5. Looked like Akil Byers.
Offside, defense, number 0. The 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
You just can't have those kind of mistakes. Just can't have it.
Yeah, what's interesting is he kind of probably jumped a little bit, or at least flinched on the fullback belly play, the play before that. And so this time, just trying to get that jump on the snap count. He's in the neutral zone, so you get the automatic 1st down.
Well, this defensive line, which was plagued early on, and they just couldn't stop the run. Eli Drinkwitz decided to make a change. Al Davis, who was on the staff, he moved him to the D-line coaching position, and they've certainly made some improvements the last few weeks. As I say that, a big hole off the right side. Kevin Harris on that carry. Time now. For Harris will stay in the game. They'll keep him on the ground, and he'll get it inside the 25 down to the 24-yard line. Time now for our running back spotlight, brought to you by Arby's. And really, this South Carolina group, very talented. They are not hurting for talented guys at running back. White with 111 yards, Harris with 120. Lloyd threw in 46 on 7 carries. They have a talented running back room. All those guys starting to get healthy. Harris and Lloyd in particular. Here is Harris. Big collision at the 20. He'll have the 1st down. Gain of 5, and you can see what's happening here. They're just relying on their running game right now.
Yeah, and that's a nice lead play there, and that's just one-on-one where your fullback has to be able to win up against the linebacker, and obviously, you know, they were able to pick up the 1st down there.
But line up, high formation with Brown under center.
Yeah, they use Jaheim Bell, really the tight end, as that fullback, the lead guy.
Don't see this look very often anymore. This wide open spread offense. Here is Harris working left side. He's down at the 16-yard line. Excuse me, Lloyd on that carry. We'll pick up 3.
So the same style of play. That time really kind of an outside zone where your tight end is leading outside. Lloyd saw just a soft spot inside of that defense and decided to put his foot in the ground and try to pick up some yardage there. You know, you can see Missouri kind of walking that safety down into the box as well to try to win on 1st down and put that pressure on Jason Brown to have to throw for 1st down yardage, or at least 2nd down yardage.
This time Brown in the shotgun. Lloyd stands to his right. Loose football, and did Missouri come away with it? They did. Another fumble by South Carolina. That is the 12th fumble they have lost this year, the most in the country. Isaiah McGuire comes up with the football at the most opportune time. Boy, Missouri's defense needed to come up with some sort of stop. This will snuff out a drive.
SEC Network Football is brought to you by new Coca-Cola Zero Sugar and Wendy's Hot and Crispy Fries. Try the best combo ever today. And B, it's what's for dinner.
A little flyover before kickoff today on a gorgeous day. A little chilly. Deuce, not so chilly. I am. I've got like 3 layers on. Tyler Beatty has short sleeves ready to go. I need him to get cranked up, but also South Carolina. Let's go back to that fumble, Deuce. What happened here?
Well, it's the quarterback exchange with the running back Brown, and he and Lloyd just aren't on the same page. And anytime that you rotate that many guys at running back, that's bound to happen as well, particularly when you're talking about being on your 3rd quarterback as well.
Here's Beatty. He should have the first down with his forward progress. But the fumbles are just, they're head scratching. 12 of those lost this year by South Carolina. On the other side, Missouri hasn't lost a fumble all year. They put it on the ground twice, but they've recovered both of those.
If you're Missouri offensively, you love what they're doing with Beatty, but you've got to get some other guys involved. I mean, you talk about the workload and him being able to carry it. He's got to have some help offensively.
Here is Beatty. Needs a block, turn the corner, and he'll be thrown out of bounds. Now, we did talk to Eli Drinkwitz about that yesterday in our meetings before the game, and, you know, he's going to ride him. He's their best player. And he said, I got to ride my best player, but he's going to be more careful about long runs, consecutive, multiple carries in a row. He said he kind of mismanaged that a couple of times the last few games.
Well, I mean, you just look at the other opportunities as far as players. There's got to be some touches for some of those other guys.
Pass is complete. Bosky dub with that reception. That'll be good enough for the first down. You know, as a running back, Deuce, I mean, obviously you want the football, but sometimes you got to be just sucking wind back there, like saying, please don't give me the ball this time.
Well, and one of the things Coach Eli Drinkwitz, he talked about were the wasted touches as far as the back, because, I mean, sometimes, hey, look, you can tell that he's only going to get a yard or 2. Can I give it to somebody like Michael Cox just based off of down and distance and to get somebody else involved?
And here is Beatty. So far, it's his show. He's to midfield, powers his way all the way to the South Carolina 45. You're looking at a guy carrying the football. It's just 5'8", 190 pounds, picks up 8.
Definitely plays bigger than that. I mean, you can just see the power that he has, and, you know, he's going to make you have to tackle him.
And South Carolina did just that, only a yard gain, so now it'll be 3rd down and 1. Jabari Ellis.
And so for me, that feels like a wasted carry in that instance. You tried to go fast and go up on the line of scrimmage. I understand you're trying to pick up that first down, but let's slow it down. Let's see if we can get another guy into the game to be able to get him that touch where it's still 3rd and short and we can still be able to try to get that first down.
2 tight ends set on 3rd and short. Now Michael Wilson comes in from his wide receiver spot and jumps in there to get the snap, and will have the first down and a bunch more inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. Creativity on the offensive side for the Tigers.
Definitely creativity. We saw South Carolina kind of use their direct snap to Harris earlier, and now you see it come back here. Missouri, Wilson being able to take the direct snap, or at least under center, and be able to pick up the first down.
Haven't seen that one very often, where they run under center to take the snap. Now a little double pass attempt. Kiki Chisholm will keep it and dive inside the 30, really close to the first down. He's going to have 9.5, maybe 10.
Tackle by number 10.
I love the decision here by Kiki Chisholm, because it was a double pass and it was not open. You saw Carolina be able to attack him as far as him being able to throw the football. He does the right thing. He tucks it. He's able to run and pick up that first down. So back-to-back plays with creativity and kind of the gadget plays here from Missouri.
And it was enough for the first down. Beatty. Boy, it looked like he had a big hole when he cut it back, but it closed in a hurry. MJ Webb, one of those guys there to make the tackle.
A nice job, offensive line. You know they like to run that wide zone, and that's exactly what you had there.
Second down and 7. Little reverse. Dominic Lovett to the 10, down to the 9-yard line. The freshman out of East St. Louis. He already has 1 rushing touchdown this year, picks up 15 on that, and that'll be the end of the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Pulling out all the stops here in the first quarter. His team knocking on the door. Down a touchdown after 15 minutes of play. South Carolina leading by a touchdown, but Missouri knocking on the door, and they've been very creative, Deuce, so far on this drive.
Yeah, definitely creative here. You move the receiver over. He takes the snap from center, and he's able to pick up not only the first down, but a couple extra yards as well. So you see the creativity from Eli Drinkwitz.
A little reverse. Also had an attempt at a double pass on this drive alone. Beatty comes in the backfield now. Out of that pistol formation. Little tap pass up front. That one goes to Mookie Cooper. He cuts it back down to the 2-yard line. It'll be stopped there. Give him 7, so it'll be second and goal from the 2 now.
Hey, one of the things I talked about earlier also, what other player would step up for Missouri, because you lean so much on Tyler Beatty. You can see Lovett getting involved. You could see Cooper getting involved. We had Tusky Dove getting involved as well. So from an offensive standpoint, some other guys have been able to step up to help Tyler Beatty out.
This drive started back at the Missouri 21-yard line. This will be the 12th play of this drive. Second and goal from the 2. Couple of fakes to the end zone. Touchdown, Missouri. Daniel Parker.
Dave, one of the things that you see right here is you can tell with the motions, with the shifts, you know, the success that you're having. Watch this motion. Watch the ball handling here. I mean, in South Carolina, they are all over the place. And what I mean by that, their eyes, they're looking, you know, everywhere except the right place. So you can tell that Missouri has done a great job of having some success running the football, that they have them kind of confused from a defensive standpoint.
Point after is up and good from Harrison Davis, and it is now a tie ball game. Levis now 36 out of 36 in point afters. Boy, the ball fake reminds you of a young Peyton Manning in the touchdown catch, tied at 7. Missouri just ties it up. Daniel Parker with his 3rd touchdown catch of the year. Probably the easiest one he'll have all season. And now the Tigers to kick it away. That'll sail through the end zone out to the 25-yard line. Don't forget, coming up at 7:30 Eastern tonight, number 25 Arkansas takes on LSU. Razorbacks are bowl eligible for the first time since 2016. How about this? They've already won more games, 19 games under Sam Pittman. And they've won 9 games in 19 appearances under Sam Pittman than they did in 36 games over the previous 3 seasons. They were 8 wins in 36 games, and they have 9 wins in 19 games under Coach Pittman. What a job he has done in Fayetteville. To think where they were and where they are now. The same could be said for LSU on the other side, except going the wrong way. Boy, Missouri had a chance for a tackle for loss, but White shakes it off and will pick up 2, but could have lost 4. Trajan Jeffcoat was right there on the spot.
Yeah, Missouri, Jeffcoat does a nice job, and I thought he had maybe gotten a little high and grabbed the face mask, but he does not. And that's the second time that we've seen penetration by this defensive line. First time Isaiah McGuire was able to cause the turnover and a fumble, and now Jeffcoat gets a lot of penetration as well.
Free rusher on a corner blitz. Brown spins, throws, had some success doing that same thing last week. No success on that play. Pressure came from Jalen Carlisle, and that'll be an incomplete pass. 3rd and 8 coming up.
Dave, you could see it pre-snap. You could see Blaze Aldridge and also Jason Carlisle's just being able to creep up to that line of scrimmage. And so both of those safeties walking down into the box. And Jason shows his ability to be able to break containment. Really nice job there.
Some more pressure comes. Brown slings it high, incomplete, no flags.
This Missouri defense is really flying around to the football. You talk about the pressures. They already have 4 pressures on Jason Brown. Just, winning on first down and forcing them to have to be behind the chains and being able to have to pass the football. I think that's the formula that really Missouri is leaning on.
Kai Kroger back to punt. A sophomore in Lake Forest, Illinois. Boo Smith will stand at the 32-yard line and await this punt. Kroger averaging 44 yards per punt this year. That will hit and take a favorable South Carolina bounce inside the 30 down to the 28. We'll step aside for a moment. Missouri scored on their last drive. See what they do on this one when we return. Well, Taco Bell welcomes you to the Live Moss Student Section of the Year contest. Use hashtag Student Section Songs to get the committee's attention and go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete. Tell you what, I've been here a bunch over the years, and these folks on the front few rows over there across the way from us, they're crazy.
Die hard.
It's probably less than 40 degrees right now. They can't. It's going to get colder as the night goes on, as the sun begins to set. A gain of 5 there for Tyler Beatty. Beatty now with 9 carries, averaging 4.2 yards per carry on 38 yards. Connor Bazelak, 6 of 7. His only incomplete pass was the interception on their opening drive. Beatty. Enak Bari brings him to the ground. He gets it to the 40-yard line. That'll be enough for the first down. That's 5.5 more for Mr. Beatty. He is just he's a different kind of guy, man. Obviously they limit his touches in practice, try to keep him healthy, but he just doesn't look like he gets tired.
Overall, 14 overall touches in this game, and it's early. You're still talking about 12 minutes left in the second quarter, and he's a workhorse for him.
Chisholm goes in motion a couple of different ways. Now Bazelak to throw. Hit as he throws. Has a man wide open. Mookie Cooper. Touchdown, Missouri. 60 yards.
You have to love how your quarterback sits in the pocket, knows he's going to get hit. R.J. Roderick with the pressure here, but I mean, outstanding throw. You cannot throw it any better. He knows he's going to get hit. He knows he's going to get hit. He sits in there, and I mean, that's just a busted coverage on the back end. Jalen Foster is one of the closest guys there for South Carolina, but Mookie Cooper is able to get deep on that post route. And like I said, you can't talk about your quarterback good enough because he knows he's going to get hit. He sits in there and he throws that touchdown pass.
That is the 14th touchdown pass of the year for Connor Bazelak. He covers 60 yards to a wide open redshirt freshman, Mookie Cooper. His first touchdown catch of the year, and it gives Missouri the touchdown lead back to Columbia after this. There's a look at Mookie Cooper, who initially enrolled at Ohio State before transferring here to Missouri. Was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school, highly sought after. Finally comes up with a huge play, a 60-yard touchdown catch to give Missouri the lead at 14-7. Connor Bazelak, as you said, Deuce, I mean, knew he was going to take a shot, but still got the ball out there for his guy to make a play.
definitely got to make a play. And one thing that you could say about Mookie Cooper is you love his speed, and that's one of the things that he threatens. You talk about the cornerbacks, you talk about the safeties. It's getting him up on those guys with that type of speed. It makes it very, very difficult for them to be able to cover him.
This kick will bound into the end zone. And here is one more look at that touchdown.
Well, I love the deal when you have the motion, and that tells you right away that it is not man-to-man. It's a zone coverage, and so basically it's Jalen Foster's. They're either playing quarters or they're playing cover three. Jalen Foster, it's the speed that gets up on him. Mookie gets up on him so fast, and by the time that he recognizes or sees it, there's no one else that could, kind of recover. Darius Rush tries to, recover for him, but the throw is too good and you can't catch him.
See what South Carolina could do with it after they took a 7-0 lead. They have given up 14 straight points. Brown looking to throw. Still going that way, and that one's incomplete. Trying to hit White on a wheel route that was read well by Missouri. It'll be second down and 10.
Missouri, like I said, they're really doing a great job of flying around on defense and understanding and knowing who I have in coverage. You talked about the wheel route there, just trying to be able to maybe confuse them a little bit as far as defense, but they do the right thing and stay with your individual man, and you're able to come up with an incomplete.
Brown now 3 of 8 for 35 yards and an interception.
I have to call a timeout here in South Carolina.
Timeout, South Carolina. First charge timeout of the half.
We'll take it with them. Just over 12 minutes to go before halftime. Tonight, SEC Football Final has you covered with the biggest stories of the day and breakdowns of all the games. Dari, Gene, Chris, Benjamin, 10:30 Eastern, right after Arkansas and LSU, right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. A lot to talk about, a lot to digest. Can't wait to hear what they have to say about that. What was just a crazy finish to the Auburn-Mississippi State game. Looked like the Tigers were in complete control, but the Bulldogs stormed back. Speaking of storming back, interception number 2 for Chris Abrams-Drain. There is a flag down at the 40.
Yeah, I think you have two flags down. Watch the sideline. Make sure to get the Missouri players off of the sideline. But I think this may be a penalty against Missouri. I'm thinking it's after the interception. The offense for South Carolina is still out on the field. So you may have 2 different penalties, Dave. One after the interception, but maybe one before the interception as well. So they're discussing it. After interception, if there was a holding penalty before, then obviously the interception isn't going to count. If there's something after the interception, then at least Missouri keeps the football. It's just got to back them up. We'll get the clarification from the referees, but you see the athletic play there by Chris Abrams-Drains.
There's no foul during the return. Prior to the pass, holding defense number 26. The 10-yard penalty is enforced in the previous spot and includes an automatic first down.
So there's the clarification. Here's the look here. Drains is just kind of playing free safety. The hold had to occur right there at the line of scrimmage. I mean, because as we could see on that view, you don't really see a lot. Oh man, that's real picky when you talk about holding in that situation for Evans. We've seen him allow the players kind of to get away with a lot more in that situation. But you just see the athletic play there for Chris Abrams-Drains. He was kind of uncovered, and he was the underneath player, able to make that interception, but all for naught.
Boy, what a huge break for South Carolina out to the 35-yard line. Here is Harris, and he is swallowed up, loses a yard. Well, the first couple drives, Deuce, they were running with some success. Not anymore.
Yeah, and I love what Blaze Aldridge was able to do there. He sees it right away and he hits it. He hits it. He is downhill. That was one of the things that Coach Steve Wilkes talked about, you know, those linebackers, he and Chad Bailey having to play downhill. He doesn't hesitate. He doesn't allow those offensive linemen to be able to get up on him and block him. He saw it right away and he was downhill to make that play.
Brown will throw. It's caught. Short gain of about 3. Josh Van. Now he gets up. Thought maybe he was slung to the turf by Evans a little late, and the teams getting to know each other a little bit around the 35.
A little bit better there, and I agree. Van didn't like how he was kind of thrown down there by Evans, and Evans is kind of shadowed. He is shadowing Van everywhere, and, you know, so his forward progress was stopped him. He didn't appreciate being slung down there. Both of these teams have to keep their composure.
So 3rd down and 6 after that 5-yard pickup. Brown looking to throw again, coming this side, and it's caught by Van, and that is a first down. Coverage on the back end from Green, but a gain of 7.
Just a deep out, and you love the route by him, and like you talked about, Allie Green is trying to cover him. Your own time with the throw, Jason Brown, on time with the steps, his footwork to be able to throw that out route to Josh Van.
Talking to defensive coordinator Steve Wilkes yesterday, generally would play just kind of a boundary and field corner, but he felt like he could get a better matchup with Van today if he put his best corner on there, Evans. But that time Evans was on the other side of the field. Big hole for Harris. Flag comes in right where that hole was, which tells me that there's a reason there was a big hole. And there is Evans making the tackle.
Yeah, I think that's going to be Jaheim Bell.
Number 0, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Right there on the edge where he was, and that tells you kind of why the hole was so big. Jaheim Bell here on the edge. And it was just, you know, he does a nice job, but it was just a tackle to twist. And it was something probably he didn't even need to kind of do when you look at it. Did a nice job of sealing on the end, but like he talked about, you just pull a guy and you twist him. You're going to call it every time.
After the penalty, first and 20 after 37.
First down, 20. 4-man rush. Brown goes underneath. There is Bell. Bell will get back to 10 that he cost him a moment ago. It'll be 2nd down.
Bell's running this little shallow cross and didn't look like he was going to have a lot of success as far as after the catch, but you see the ability that he has once he has the football in his hands, where he picks up, you know, 11 yards and picking up that yardage that they had lost with the hole.
Couple of tight ends in the game. Goes in motion. Brown looking to throw. Pocket collapses. Brown throws on the run and a little bit shy of Leggett.
Brown's pass intended for number 17.
You can just see the pressure. Brown really never feeling comfortable in the pocket. Didn't have an opportunity to really set his feet as he's trying to push that football down the field to Xavier Leggett. We'll see if Missouri dials up that pressure again. They've been putting those linebackers either in the A gap right now. Both of them are on the edge.
3rd and 9. Brown. Boy, he has been running around for his life back there. Gets this pass away, and it's going to be good enough for the first down. They go to E.J. Jenkins, who hooks up with his high school teammate, his college teammate, and his best friend, Jason Brown?
Well, Jason Brown, you know, we talked about him maybe not having a lot of time or feeling comfortable in the pocket, but one thing he's doing, he's working the pocket, and he's been able to kind of move around and find, you know, where he can be able to settle and find some of those receivers. And that time it's E.J. Jenkins running the crosser who's able to pick up the first down.
Jenkins came with Brown from St. Francis. Made his first start last week. All he did was have 5 catches for 70 yards. Flag down at the line of scrimmage. A couple of flags are down, and Brown will just get out of bounds.
I think they're going to be probably second time close, that you're talking probably in the neutral zone. Well, it's a alignment issue from South Carolina.
Illegal formation, offense, more than 4 players in the backfield. Penalty is declined. Result of play is second down.
So Brown loses a couple of yards.
Brown getting some signals from the sideline. They're changing that play.
Well, you hear the Missouri bench saying there was a hold, but there are no flags. So Quandre White, not much room to run. Blaze Aldridge, who's really been in this first half all over the field. We've seen him from sideline to sideline.
And that's the player that should have probably had a holding call. You know, you talk about offensive linemen being able to get up on Blaze and him making the plays. He is playing fast to the football right there. And he probably did get held in that situation, but it wasn't called. He still was able to go out there and make the play and wait for the help to get there for as far as his other defensive teammates.
On a third down, Brown goes underneath, has Bell. Bell fighting for extra yards, and will have the first down. What an effort from Jaheim Bell. Picks up 17 tough yards.
Tough yardage, and you've got a South Carolina player down, but really nice job by Bell. He's able to absorb that hit from, you know, the defense from Williams, and able to really be able to break that tackle. And I mean, that's a heck of an effort by Jaheim Bell.
Let's go to the studio. Dari, what's going on?
Yeah, just want to update real quick what's going on. Georgia and Tennessee. Told you Tennessee struck first in this game. But then Georgia ends up going in, taking the lead. Stetson Bennett, fleet of foot, as we've all learned this season. Georgia by a touchdown late second, guys.
All right, thanks, Dari. Georgia obviously in a real fight up in Knoxville today. Boy, that Tennessee team gets better every single time out, don't they?
Yeah, we saw him here play against
oh, that was a show.
yeah, they came and played against Missouri, and I'm telling you, you talk about just being able to get off plays in a hurry. They definitely were able to get them off in a hurry, and they're going to stress that Georgia defense, at least they have early anyway.
They put up 62 on Missouri.
And took their foot off the pedal.
Leggett going into the tent to try to get an update on his situation from Andrea, who I hope is bundled up. By the way, a happy belated birthday to Miss Andrea Carter.
She's floating around. She's mad at us, Dave, just so you know.
Oh, no.
It's cold down here, 28 as of yesterday, and freezing. But thank you, Dave. I appreciate it.
No, happy birthday. And well, what else could we do? Bring you to Missouri and let you stand down there in the cold weather for about 4 hours.
Yes, thank you so much. Happy to be here, guys.
I wrapped that up for you. Here's Kevin Harris. Blaze Aldridge with another tackle, only a yard. So now second down. Blaze, the transfer out of Bryce. He's had a long journey to get here to Columbia. Also played at Pierce Junior College.
Well, he's fought through some adversity as well. I mean, at one point this year, he was demoted, and he's found his way back in the starting lineup.
Oh, just nowhere to run. Harris bottled up by Kobe Whiteside.
You talk about this Missouri defense, how well they played last week and could it carry over, particularly up front. And so far, you know, you looked at that first drive and it didn't look like it would, but so far they've made some adjustments and they've handled the inside lead plays there. There was a counter. They're trying to get Jaheim Bell to kind of lead up, and you know, guys are winning their one-on-ones up front. The second level is coming up and making plays as well. And this is where they get creative in this third down package.
It up, looking for Van, has him, touchdown. Creativity at its finest from Jason Brown, who hits Josh Van for the 26-yard touchdown.
Dave, there were probably 3 or 4 plays there. Jason Brown, his ability to move in the pocket after the initial pocket had kind of collapsed, where he was able to buy time, extend the play, and find a secondary receiver. That time, Van had run his initial route. He sees his quarterback is in trouble and just turns around and goes to the end zone, and he's able to score.
One after is up and good. Josh Van averaging 17 yards a catch, went 26 on that one. But for a big man, Jason Brown showing you that he can be light on his feet. We know Van can be. We are tied at 14.
Auto Owners Insurance halftime report coming up shortly. We'll show you what's happening on Rocky Top. Great start for Tennessee. Also, what a comeback for Mississippi State, shattering records. Guys, South Carolina?
Impressed by Missouri's defense so far. Less than 2 yards to carry for South Carolina. The game plan's clear. Make Jason Brown beat you throwing the football.
Good to see they can stop the run, and they have. Those two guys will chime in at halftime. All right, we'll see you then.
All right, Dari, thank you very much. Yeah, that was something else, what happened over at Auburn today. Just crazy, crazy second half. Well, our next True South has John T. Edge traveling around Mobile Bay, Alabama for Cozy Brown's Flounder and Shrimp for breakfast up north, and burgers and bushwhackers for lunch at Pirates Cove down south. It premieres tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, right here on the SEC Network and, of course, the ESPN app. That looks good.
Very good, sir.
Yeah. You had some of that before? You ever been down there?
Me and food don't have a problem. We can we get along pretty good.
You guys are good buddies. There's Beatty off the left side. He'll pick up 5 as we close in on 4 minutes to go on this first half.
Dave, earlier in the game, Andrea did a report about Bobby Lawrence being out. What they've done is they've kicked out Connor Woods over to that right tackle spot, and they have inserted E.J. Doma Ogar. There you go.
Yeah, I got you.
Doma Ogar.
They'll run near side. And Beatty this time wrapped up, and he'll lose a yard. Yeah, they're running out of offensive line. They can't afford another injury up front.
Yeah, they've used that formula probably for the last 2 to 3 drives, and so far it's been pretty good. They haven't run a lot to that right side. They've had success running the football.
So third down. Bazelak to throw. Lofts it up. Nice tight spiral. That one is batted away. Bazelak had completed 6 straight passes, including his last 2 for touchdowns, until that incompletion.
Well, Dave, you Darius Rush, you can't play it any better. I mean, he squeezes this all the way, and he gets his head around right when he sees the receiver going up, and Rush, he gets a hand on it, and I'm telling you, you cannot play it any better. A nicely thrown ball. I think that was to Dove, who was the intended receiver, but Rush does a nice job of playing that route.
Rush, a former wide receiver in his own right. Last couple of years, though, been on the defensive side of the ball. McInnes will punt it away. This is a much better kick, a booming kick that will send Van all the way back inside the 25. And Van will be popped out of bounds around the 45. A 53-yard punt. But good field position here for South Carolina with 2:36 to go and a couple of timeouts. Now, coming up at halftime, you can watch the live performance of Marching Mizzou on SEC Network Plus. You can start streaming that now on the ESPN app. So 2:36, couple of timeouts in a tie ball game. I didn't see this morning, but the line was right around 2 points in this game. Felt like this was going to be pretty much what we have seen here in the first half.
Yeah, some mistakes by both units, but I mean, for the most part, they've been able to move the football up and down the field.
That time, South Carolina going backwards. Marshawn Lloyd hit by Trajan Jeffcoat.
And you can talk about just the penetration. You try to get some misdirection, and Trajan Jeffcoat, he's not tricked or fooled one bit by that. We've seen those defensive ends be able to get up the field and kind of get some penetration. I'm kind of surprised that Missouri is not using one of their timeouts. Maybe after this play, if they can stop the clock or at least get some type of lost yardage, they do try to use one of those timeouts.
Lost 6 on that play. Brown today 9 of 15, 112 yards. Steps up in the pocket, fires near side. Great throw. It hits Van again. Boy, right between two Tiger defenders. He hits number 6 and picks up 18.
This is a really nice throw here by Jason Brown. I mean, you talk about throwing the deep out, and Van is able to catch this football. Just a really nice job of throw and catch there. Matched up on Evans really in that zone, and so a couple more yards and you're in field goal range.
Josh Fan, their leading receiver, a couple of catches today, including a touchdown. Pressure comes, flag. There is holding all over the place, and Brown just sails it out of bounds.
Yeah, holding on the left tackle, kind of a tackled. He basically, that defensive end. Back him up 10 more yards.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the tackle box. The ball landed beyond the line of scrimmage. Holding, offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
He caught it on 76 with that 75, and that was just pressure. That was pressure off of the edge is what they had. Chad Bailey with some of that pressure. And Missouri up front, they've been able to get after this South Carolina offensive line.
Underneath, that one right through the hands of Jaheim Bell. That'll stop the clock with 1:37. That's good news for Missouri, and it'll be 2nd down and 20 coming up.
Same shallow cross right after he had the penalty earlier. They hit him on that shallow cross. He was able to pick up 11 yards. This time it's the same play coming across, and he doesn't look the football in before trying to turn and run with it. Now you're in 2nd and long situation. Normally it's time for a screen. We haven't seen him really run any type of screens, but you've got to try to push the football down the field because you know Missouri will be bringing some type of pressure.
4-man rush again. Clean pocket underneath. Pass caught there. That is Lloyd, and he has nowhere to go. He got to the line of scrimmage, and that was it.
Here's a timeout. Here's a timeout by Missouri as well.
Coke Zero Sugar and Wendy's are proud supporters of college football. Best combo ever.
Missouri doing a pretty good job of mixing up their packages. They were bringing kind of the safeties as well as the linebackers. That time you figured second and long situation, they would bring pressure. They don't. They only rush 4. Jason Brown decides to check it down again as far as to just throw the crossing, shallow cross route. They do a nice job of being able to rally to the football and make the tackle and put him in another kind of third and long situation.
Well, we do have 2 outstanding kickers today. Parker White of South Carolina, Harrison Mevis. I mean, 2 of the best in the country. Both guys can go over 50, but on this cold day, you wonder what kind of impact that will have on a lengthy field goal. Brown dropped all the way back at the 35-yard line.
Timeout again by
Isaiah McGuire will get credit for that sack.
really nice job of just winning your one-on-one situation.
Timeout.
Isaiah
Missouri.
McGuire with the pressure. Arden Walker also from the other defensive end spot being able to get pressure. And you're talking about Jason Brown being able to kind of move in the pocket. That time, if you're a quarterback, you've probably got to step up into the pocket because both of those defensive ends, they're running kind of the wheel to meet at the quarterback position as far as where he normally would drop. That's where you probably got to step up into the pocket instead of trying to spin out of it. Isaiah McGuire comes up with the big sack.
Hey, well, this defensive line is playing so much better than they were a few weeks ago, a month ago. It's incredible to watch him, the transformation that's occurred.
Well, one, it starts with stopping the run. And now when you stop the run, you earn the right to be able to rush the passer. That's what it has to be. You have to earn that right to rush the passer in second and third and long situations.
4.5 sacks now for McGuire, chasing Jeffcoat, who has 5.5 sacks on the year. And fourth and forever, 4th and 35. Fair catch called for at the 29-yard line, and so with 1:20 left to go before halftime, the Tigers will have the football.
There's a little package with Connor Bazelak and kind of see the job that he has done and just the ball handling, his ability to be able to spread the football around. Here's Parker here on his other touchdown throw. You know that you're going to get hit. He sits in the pocket, steps up into the throw, and able to hit Cooper on that long touchdown throw. And you're talking about a guy that hadn't played a lot lately just because he is coming off of injury.
Bazelak 7 of 9, 85 yards, and that's the number his coach said he was health-wise, around 85%, but they felt that was good enough for him to go today. Little tap pass here, so he'll get credit for these yards as well. A big gainer there from Boo Smith, still on his feet. Has a couple of blockers in front. Boo Smith to the 30, high step into the 25 and out of bounds.
Late hit as well. There's the flag. Give him 15 more.
47 on the run and another 15 post play. Cam Smith over there grabbing him by the jersey to get him out of bounds, but kept holding on.
There is no foul in the play for a late hit out of bounds. Result of play, first down, Missouri.
Dave, you talked about this pop pass, and it turns into almost like a punt return, you know, and he just does a nice job. I think you said it was about 47 yards. He probably ran almost close to 100 yards, and they decided that there was no late hit. They threw the flag, but I guess he did ease up. There was some...
yeah, I think on second look, I think that's what happened. It wasn't as vicious as it appeared.
Yeah, there was some furniture flying on the sideline, but it was...
Officials timeout to fix an issue with the clock.
Here's another look at the end of that play. Boy, almost looked like for a minute there that you could have got a face mask.
Yeah, could have got a face mask, and it was actually the chairs, and that was Smith that probably got the worst of that tackle there. And Smith gets up, kind of flexing a little bit, but it wasn't as vicious as originally it looked on the sideline there. Until now you have Missouri that is threatening there in the high red zone area. We talked about the shifts, you talked about the motion, and just how it kind of confuses South Carolina and how they have to have eye discipline. We'll see if Coach Eli Drinkwitz goes back to some of that now. He's taking advantage of the middle of the field on some of those kind of play actions and throws that they've had.
Bazelak 8 out of 10, 132 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Missouri's put up 207 yards of offense. South Carolina 142 yards. South Carolina's run game, now factor in the sacks, obviously a big impact, but when you look at the numbers, just 13 yards rushing here in the first half.
Sacks do impact that, I mean, but they have to be able to run the football if they're going to be successful.
There's 1 minute, 5 seconds remaining in the half. The clock will be kept on the field. 1:05 clock on the field.
So first down and 10, just inside the 25-yard line. Bazelak going up top. Oh, a lot of hand checking going on down that near sideline. Kiki Chisholm covered by Darius Rush.
South Carolina bringing a little pressure as well. And
there's 1 minute remaining. 1 minute remaining in the half.
Chisholm looking for kind of a hold call there. Doesn't get it.
Well, finally got the clock set. Bazelak underneath, that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. It'll be incomplete. Third down and 10 coming up.
Trying to hit Tyler Beatty there on
55 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining in the half.
On a little angle route out of the backfield, and like you said, Dave, that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and Jabari Ellis looks like he was a man that got his hand on the football.
Bazelak steps up underneath. Nice grab there from Parker. Grabbed it with one hand and will have it down at the 6. That'll be first and goal for the Tigers and an 18-yard pickup. Here's Beatty off the right side. Hit at the 5, down to the 3-yard line. Missouri wants to go fast. Clock at 35, 34. Trying to line up in a hurry. Again, Beatty into the heart of that defense. Falls forward. Did he fall into the end zone? They're going to say just shy. They're going to spot him inside the 1-yard line. Timeout, Missouri.
Dave, you talk about small, but he is a stick of dynamite. I mean, he is electric and runs with surprising power. That's one of the things when you see him play and you see his initial size, you don't think he's as strong as he is, but he has just made play after play for this Missouri offense. And I think you have to give a lot of credit as well to Daniel Parker on that big catch that he made to put him in position to be able to have an opportunity here in the red zone.
Yeah, a little one-handed grab over the middle from the tight end who has a touchdown catch today. Looks like Beatty's a little frustrated. He wanted to get in there. This is that Parker catch right here that kept this drive going on a 3rd down. Nice catch by the tight end. And now it's 3rd down and goal from the 1. Bazelak under center.
South Carolina calls a timeout, and here's the thing right here. I think this was going to be play action. I mean, you've got Cox in the game. And I think that was probably a play action look from Missouri. South Carolina, they looked at the formation, they saw the personnel that was in. And Coach Beamer that goes down and he gets right by the referee and he calls timeout.
All right, well, time for a short in-game break from Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Wherever fun happens, Academy Sports and Outdoors is there.
That fire would be nice right about now.
Well, here's the thing here, Dave. If you run the football, you run the risk of not being able to get your field goal team out there. If it's a pass, obviously you either score or the clock stops.
Bazelak goes under center. You're going to play fake it, come back near side. Pass is caught and stopped there. Field goal kicking unit runs onto the field as quickly as possible. It's a mad scramble with 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Mevis from 19, kick is on the way, and it's good. Oh my goodness. That could have been a disaster. Instead, it worked perfectly.
It works perfectly, but yes. That's why you figured it wasn't a run, and even with that pass, with it being so close and him fighting for the goal line, you had to have everybody out on the field.
Let's go down to Andrea.
Coach Drinkwitz, you showed some creativity in the first half. They were able to get 3 more points there right at the end. How would you describe your offensive execution?
Well, we can't turn the ball over. We had a slow start, but I was proud of the way we responded.
And on defense, South Carolina was a team that had almost 300 yards rushing last week. You've held them to 13. What's been the key there?
Well, we've been able to get some penetration, but we got to do it in the second half.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Short and sweet. Coach Drinkwitz, this club leads 17-14. They trailed early 7-0, but they'll take the 3-point lead into the locker room here in Columbia, Missouri. Quite the entertaining first half, to say the least. With that, time for us to get it to the studio. Dart, it's all yours.
All righty, guys, thank you much as we welcome you into the Auto Owners Insurance Halftime Report.
The sun has set here in Columbia, Missouri, but we've still got 2 quarters of football left. And what was an entertaining first half, Missouri leads at 17-14 over the Gamecocks, 2 teams trying to become bowl eligible. The Tigers got to win a couple. South Carolina looking for just 1 more win. Dave Neal, Deuce McAllister. But Deuce, what a wild and wacky finish to that first half. Looked like Missouri was on the edge of scoring a touchdown, but it could have been disastrous.
Yeah, definitely could have been disastrous. And I mean, when you look at it, not having any timeouts, you figured that it would be a pass, but normally it's either a catch where you're in the end zone, not having to fight to get into the end zone. So, I mean, we're going to take a look at it here. I mean, I love the call. They've been able to do some different things like this. They scored with Parker earlier, and I mean, he is close. He is very, very close. But here's the interesting part.
No timeouts.
No timeouts, but you've got to have everybody up and ready because you're going to kick a field goal with, you know, it's sudden. And obviously your kicker is cool and calm, as collective as can be, and he knocks it through.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it might be the most Mevis has run all year to get on the field. He's been an unbelievable kicker. But you got to make sure everybody's set. I mean, there's so many things that could have gone wrong, but they got it done. They drew it up just like that, I'm sure, in practice. But that's why you practice those plays. But quarterback comparison, obviously Brown making a second start for the Gamecocks. Meanwhile, Connor Bazelak, who's made a bunch of starts but did not start last week because of an injury.
Number 14 for Missouri is now number 85.
What'd you make of his first half for Bazelak, who's playing at about 80-85%?
I thought it was okay. I thought for him, you know, you could tell from a ball handling standpoint, he was really, really good. Probably needs to just pick up, see some of those blitz that they kind of hit him on. You know, the interception was one that he kind of knew better. He can't lob that far of a throw over, but overall, you know, a pretty solid half.
And this Missouri offense will get the football first to start the third quarter. Nice return there. Let's go down to Andre.
Thanks, Dave. I talked to Shane Beamer, South Carolina's head coach, and he said, give credit to Missouri, but we have to clean up ourselves. He said, we're missing tackles. We've got ineligible formations. We're turning the football over. We have to take care of what we're doing on the field, discipline on defense. And I asked about Jason Brown. He said Jason just had to settle in. He liked what they saw on that last drive, but the key last week was they could run the football and help him. They have to find a way to get the ground game going.
Yeah, you factor in the sacks, and they produced just 13 yards on the ground, did South Carolina. First down and 10. They'll run it with Beatty. Out to midfield. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. Cam Smith brings him down.
Just right out of the gate, you see the counter play and just a nice job of being able to seal it. You're talking about both guys on the backside being able to pull, and Beatty is crafty enough where he can just squeeze through and he picks up that first down.
Beatty had 57 yards rushing in the first half, a little over 4 yards per carry. They'll go with him again off the left side. Brought down right in the middle of that Tiger logo and picks up 4.5, maybe 5 yards. Again, Cam Smith bringing him down.
Same style of play, different design footwork for Beatty there, but it's just a counter, and it's just really using South Carolina's speed against them, their aggressive nature as far as the defense is concerned.
Beatty on that carry. Go back to those first half stats, and really Missouri put together a strong performance in the second quarter and finished up with almost 250 yards of offense. Turnovers certainly hurt South Carolina. Really, they were driving, Deuce, trying to go up 14-0. They turned the football over on a fumble. Missouri went down and scored, took momentum away.
Really changed the complexity of this game, and just being able to create that turnovers with that defensive line for Missouri. And that's not something that you get to say a lot.
No, they've done a nice job today for sure. That pass is incomplete on 3rd down and 5. South Carolina's defense comes up with a stop, and here comes the Tiger punt unit.
Really nice job of South Carolina being able to hold up there. You talk about Beatty being able to pick up a lot of yardage, and when it's 3rd and 5 situation, not saying they couldn't go to him, but they try to hit Bannister. Try to hit Bannister and just couldn't do it.
McKinnis with the punt. A little pooch kick that will hit at the 15. Taking great bounce for Missouri, and it will roll all the way down to the 2-yard line. Let's take a look at our Gatorade fueling performance.
Really nice play here by Smith. Like I said, it's just a pop pass almost. You talk about just getting it from the quarterback, and it turns into a punt return, and he just, it picked up 47 yards, but he probably ran easy 100+ yards on that play. Nice, outstanding job by Smith, just being able to be a returner, get in an open space. Here, Josh Vann, he has to catch this punt. He gave up at least 15 yards. You put your offense in a terrible starting position here.
Yeah, from the 2-yard line, working out of that I formation. They'll go with a fullback. Gain of 2 on the play.
Just a fullback belly here as they try to be able to get this football out of the end zone there as they're backed up. But Josh Vann, he has to catch that football, even if he has to charge up. I mean, hey, look, I'm fair catching it. I can't put my offense at the 2-yard line. That's one play that, he's got to be able to go up and make.
Out of the end zone, Brown, he's in trouble, lofts it up in the air, and that'll be incomplete as he is out of the end zone. Getting some help from Nick Muse, the tight end, but it'll be 3rd down. Let's go down to Andrea.
Guys, I talked to Jason Brown about the biggest adjustment playing for South Carolina, and he said it's getting used to huddles and making calls. He said that was very new to me. At St. Francis, it was all spread and hand signals. It was very fast. All I ever had to say was ready, set, go. He said he used to get scripts of the plays and practice talking to his teammates. He was very intentional about getting used to communicating in the huddles.
Going to have to communicate here with the crowd making some noise on a 3rd down and 8. Out of the end zone, Brown double clutches, gets it away. Flags come in the end zone. A helmet comes off.
It's normally going to be a hands to the face situation when you see that offensive lineman's helmet comes off. That may be an automatic first down for South Carolina.
Javon Gwynn was the player whose helmet popped off.
And if it's on a flag, he gets to stay in the game.
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense number 6. The 15-yard penalty from the previous spot includes an automatic first down.
Oh, wow.
Number 54 for South Carolina can remain in the game because his helmet came off with the foul.
Darius Robinson, a gift for South Carolina.
Here it is. Robinson is just, he gets his hands up high, but man, I don't know if that was just a true hands to the face type of call. The helmet obviously comes off, but you talk about a gift to that South Carolina offense. That's definitely a gift to him.
Brown going up top, trying to find Van. There are all kinds of collisions around the 42, and all kinds of flags come with it. And Caleb Evans and Josh Van battling down the field almost the whole way.
This one I would have loved to seen a Caleb Evans be able to squeeze him as far as the route, but I mean, you could tell he's kind of pulling as Van tries to elevate and go up for the pass. But what's interesting is South Carolina, they're walking back.
They're going to call that against Van. I mean, there was just a lot of contact
on both guys.
Yeah.
On both guys. So, I mean, you have 2 different officials that threw flags.
There are multiple fouls against the defense. Pass interference, defense number 26. That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Unsportsmanlike conduct, Missouri sideline, contact with the official during the play. That 15-yard penalty enforces a dead ball. First down, South Carolina.
Oh, my goodness.
It's 45 yards of penalties.
That is, when you think about it, they were going to have to punt from their 4-yard line.
The drive was over. It was 3rd down. The drive was over, and it was really after the play where you talk about Robinson has the hands to the face. You know, I mean, because the football was gone. The football had been thrown by Brown. And you're talking about 45 yards of penalties that South Carolina has kind of received here.
Eli Drinkwitz is looking for some blood on the sidelines right now. He is beside himself. Not much there for White. He bounces off a couple of Tiger defenders, picks up a yard. He is still going at it.
Well, he's upset because normally as a player you can't be in the white line, and that's where the official kind of fell down. The official that is that runs up and down the white line, he failed as he threw his marker. He ran into one of the South Carolina players, and that's why he is upset.
They were going to get the football back. Worst case scenario at midfield. Brown again spins to his left, throws high in the air. A couple of receivers in the area.
And he may be in the tackle box. That's one of the things that they're going to talk about here. Was he in the tackle box? And there's the flag. He was in the tackle box after you go back and look at it. Now,
yeah, but there were 2 guys standing over there.
Yeah, but Jason Brown he didn't break the box.
Intentional grounding.
I'm not buying it, Deuce. There were 2 South Carolina.
First of all, at the spot of the foul, loss of down, 3rd down.
There were 2, not 1, 2 South Carolina receivers right by that sideline.
But where he threw the football from, he was still in the tackle box.
But if the receivers are over there, that's nullified.
They're not going to jump up and catch that ball because that ball isn't catchable one bit. But that's exactly what they were looking at. Was he still in that tackle box from tight end to tight end, and that's where the flag comes from. Loss of down play as well. So 3rd and forever.
The judgment call goes against South Carolina. Missouri trying to get a stop here on 3rd and 27. Here is White, breaks a couple of tackles. He's pushed out of bounds across the midfield stripe. Now do you keep the offense out there? Maybe push the envelope a bit after a 21-yard pickup.
You talk about just conservative and really just saying, hey, look, we just want to kind of pin them as far as where they are. They almost pick up this first down. You know, he's pushed out of bounds there by Allie Green, but really nice run by White to almost pick up that first down.
Will hit and bound out of bounds near the 5. So it took a while, but Missouri finally got the stop they thought they had just a moment ago. Back in a minute. 17-14 here in the 3rd quarter. Dave Neal, Deuce McAllister, Andrea Carter down on the sidelines. Glad you could join us from Columbia, where the Tigers will have the football, their 2nd possession here of the 2nd half. Connor Bazelak, who's still not 100%, but 11 of 16, 151 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and an interception. Will work out of the shotgun and stand in his end zone. Beatty on that carry. This has turned out to be quite a little rivalry going on here. They've had some very good games. Now, this is Missouri's 10th year anniversary of joining the SEC. South Carolina's 30th anniversary of joining the SEC. But since they've been in the league, these two teams have had some really, really fun, entertaining games. Speaking of entertaining games, will be another good one, I think, coming up after us, Arkansas and LSU. But this looks like it's going to go down as another close one between these two clubs playing for the Mayor's Cup. Out to the 9-yard line. Damani Staley, the first one there.
South Carolina safety's getting involved a little bit. You talk about that defensive line being able to get some penetration. I mean, I don't know if you can say you're going to truly stop Beatty, but try to slow him down. That's the job.
Tigers going empty set here. Beatty now will stroll back into the backfield. Underneath to Bailey. Beatty's going to have to break a tackle of Staley, and he does. First down, out over the 20 to the 22-yard line. 13-yard pickup.
That's just kind of like a halfback shoot out of the backfield, and you know, Staley could never tackle him. He could never get him square, and that's one of the matchups that you talked about, just getting him in space matched up against one of those Mike linebackers, Staley there, and that's one that he's going to win every time. 23 touches, make it 24 today for Beatty. That's his 19th carry of the evening. You'll pick up 3 there, give them 83 yards on the ground. Barry will get credit for the tackle, and it'll be second down coming up. At some point you got to have some play action that you're using with him, particularly on first down, to try to take a shot down the field. Well, how about the stiff arm from Beatty? This guy is a machine as he put an arm into R.J. Roderick and got an extra 5-6 yards out of it. Yeah, it looked like it was going to be short for, you know, 3rd and short, but I mean, second defensive player that he's been able to just be able to use that stiff arm, and you see the acceleration that he has to be able to pick up the first down. They'll go with Michael Cox to give Beatty a little bit of a break.
Second carry for Cox today. He'll pick up 4.
Now on that counter play, they've run a significant amount behind Connor Woods being the puller there. Luke Griffin at left guard and Foster that right guard, left tackle and left guard. Those guys have done a really nice job on that counter play.
Beatty still on the sideline, catching his breath. Just a couple of more yards for another 100-yard game. Here's Cox, stays on his feet across midfield and will have the first down. Well, they really like this redshirt freshman out of Atlanta. He's got some good size at 6'1", 227. Picks up 8.
He's got great size, but you can see kind of what Andrea talked about earlier, some of the sloppy tackling there by South Carolina, whether it's the stiff arm or, you know, really not being able to get up on the backs as far as to wrap up. Those Missouri running backs are winning those one-on-one battles.
Straight handoff to Cox, who gets it to the 44-yard line. Mohamed Cabo brings him down, a gain of 3. And here comes Beatty.
3 consecutive carries for Cox there, trying to wear this defensive front, that front 7 down of South Carolina.
This time South Carolina stuffs Beatty right at the line of scrimmage. Damani Staley the first one there. Staley has 5 tackles today and a sack.
The outside zone look there. You talk about Beatty trying to put his foot in the ground and cut it up. They do a nice job of sending him back into Staley as he's the guy that makes that play.
5:20 to go here in the third quarter. 3rd down and 6. You almost feel like the team with the football last might win this one. Oh! Incomplete. Boy, there was some miscommunication going on, and that could have been picked off. J.J. Hester was the intended target.
J.J. Hester's running that out route, and South Carolina probably wanted that interception. Had at least an opportunity at it. Kiki Chisholm running the deep post is probably the throw that Connor wants back.
McInnes. Fair catch caught. South Carolina offense backed up again, but they do have the football.
37-yard line over return.
Staff Sergeant Melton, Delta Company, 1st Battalion, 502nd Infantry.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Brooks, stationed at the Naval War College in Newport, Rhode Island.
I want to give a shout out to the University of South Carolina.
And I'd like to give a shout out to South Carolina. Go Gamecocks.
Go Gamecocks, Spurs up.
Boy, as always this time of the year, we'd like to salute all of our nation's veterans, past and present, for all they do, for their courage and commitment to our country. Thanks to everybody involved with our military. Well, let's see what South Carolina can do here. The last time they had the football, they started at the 2. Looked like they were going to punt from the 4, and then they got all the way out to midfield because of penalties. Eventually gave it right back to Missouri. Oh, pressure comes. Brown had no time. I mean, the second he turned, somebody was in his face. It looked like Jeffcoat was the guy there.
Trajan Jeffcoat, he's unblocked in that situation, and I mean, normally you want him to be able to step down when that tackle steps down, but he's watching the ball handling of the quarterback and the running back, and that's just way too fast in the face of Jason Brown in that situation. And so Brown does a nice job of being able to get that football out of his hands.
Well, that is now 9 pressures by this Missouri defense on Jason Brown, making his second start. Brown today, 11 out of 20, 129 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Pressure comes again. Brown this time has time to throw, and it's picked off. Flags come out, though, before the interception. Caleb Evans and Josh Vann have been battling all day long.
Has to be out of the break is what he is seeing, because I just don't see it. I mean, it has to be on the stem of the route. He had to pull him. He had to pull him back just a little bit. I mean, but that ball is underthrown as well.
Holding defense number 26. The 10-yard penalties from the previous spot. It includes an automatic first down.
Oh boy. Eli Drinkwitz needs to be careful on the sideline. He is furious after looking at the big board.
They have battled all game, Vann and Evans, and that time, you know, you talk about the ball being a little bit underthrown. Evans is able to get his head around, running just a corner route, and that's just, you know, on the stem, you kind of see him pulling just a little bit, and the referee sees it and he throws the flag.
Evans, the transfer defensive back from Tulsa, out of McKinney, Texas. Brown hit. That's a loose football in the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. Manuel with the hit. Jeffcoat comes up with the football.
Dave, you go back and look. We talked about the pressure. This is the second, at least second pressure by Manuel here, and Jeffcoat is Johnny on the spot to be able to scoop and score before it goes out of the back of the end zone. And that's just, you know, you talk pressure. Jeffcoat had one earlier. Brown was able to kind of get rid of the football in that situation. Here, he's the fortunate one and in the right place to be able to scoop and score in that situation. But it was Manuel coming off of the edge from that safety position that creates that kind of sack fumble situation. It looked like they would set up a screen as well. That's where it looked like Jason Brown was going with the football.
Here's Mevis on the field to attempt this point after. And it is good, and now it's a 24-14 Missouri lead. Trajan Jeffcoat, a young man who grew up in Columbia, South Carolina, comes up with the touchdown in the end zone. Missouri by 10, a huge defensive play by Missouri results in a touchdown, and here it is.
Dave, and you go and look at this. This is safety pressure, but the quarterback has to see and feel this. Manuel is already in the box, so you know it's pressure for him. He's setting up the screen. This is a screen of Nick Muse. He's got to be able to get rid of that football quicker. He sees it, he feels it, but just a poor job of releasing the footballs, you know, as far as even if Bailey is all over it, you've just got to eat it and throw it in the ground. You can't have a sack and a fumble, and obviously you give up a score.
And the thing is, if that thing hits, it's going for a lot of yardage.
You've got the right play call.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the right play call. You talk about Bailey being able to snuff it out and read it a little bit, but he's still got to make a tackle. But the quarterback, he's got to speed up that process. And you saw Jason Brown there at the end kind of frustrated with himself because he felt it. He saw the safety down in the box. You've got a screen on going to the other side. You just got to get rid of the football.
See how they handle it now, down 10. They'll hand it off there to Marshawn Lloyd, and he'll have a dozen yards, probably their best run since the first quarter.
A nice job on the counter play, and Lloyd, you can see the explosive. As you talked about it earlier, just him being able to not have that knee brace on, and he hits it right away in a big game by Lloyd.
A four-star running back at a high school, top 10 running back. Get to the 42. Those Missouri defenses look sharp tonight For more on that, let's go down to Andrea.
Yeah, Dave, I talked to linebacker Chad Bailey, and he said the defensive success has really started in practice. He said they've grown together as a group, and he feels like pre-snap communication, that's the part that has really improved. Defensive coordinator Steve Wilkes' favorite line is, "It's not a secret, talk to each other." And Bailey also told me they have extreme confidence coming from the Georgia game because they executed their game plan.
Yeah, they certainly, had an admirable performance in Athens last weekend, despite that loss. 43-6, and most teams struggle with the Bulldogs this year. They've been pounding everybody, but even in a loss, I felt like talking to Coach Wilkes that there was something there to build upon.
Well, you've got to find some good things. I mean, anytime that you hold that Georgia offense to only 70 rushing yards or less than 70 rushing yards in the first half, you have to feel good about yourself. And I think that they've been able to build upon that and kind of tell the guys, hey, look, if we do it right, we can steadily improve, and this is proof of it.
Georgia's up 27-10 on the road in Knoxville. Late third quarter there. Third down here. South Carolina, some more pressure comes. Brown has to spin out of trouble. We've seen that all night. Running left, throwing right, it's incomplete. Another pressure. That one came from Chad Bailey. That's now a dozen pressures on Brown.
And that's one where I think Lloyd is responsible for that pressure. When you talk about being able to pick up Bailey off of the edge, he kind of steps inside. Bailey is coming off of the edge, and by the time he sees him, he's too late to kind of respond to it. And now you're talking about Brown having to try to create and make something out of nothing.
One of the strangest punts I've seen. Kai Kroger basically punted it directly across the field, if I'm describing that correctly. I mean, he goes left, and this ball comes dead across the field.
I think he was trying to place that so much to the sideline that he kind of overkick it, and that's a shame. South Carolina has to gain some composure.
Missouri will take it at the 39. Bazelak trying to set up a screen, and he'll just throw it away. Beatty in a pile of bodies. There's like 6-7 guys over there between Missouri and South Carolina. Hard to find Beatty in that mess.
Rolling his eligible receiver number 1 was in the area. Incomplete pass, second down.
Today's 1st and 10 line brought to you by T-Mobile.
Dave, I love the play action, or at least the pass on first down. I don't like it going to Beatty, though. I mean, because all eyes are going to be on him anyway.
Tigers with over 300 yards of offense. South Carolina's been stuck around 140. Underneath pass caught the 46-yard line by Koski Dove. Pick up 6.5, 7 yards.
That's a play that they can kind of get from him a lot more. You've got to get a lot more production out of Dove. The big frame that he has, he's got to be able to just make plays for you, particularly when you talk about in that 5 to 7 yard range.
That pass is caught right at the midfield stripe, and that'll be just enough for a first down. Pickup of 4 yards. Kiki Chisholm on that reception. Don't forget, coming up at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, number 25 Arkansas takes on LSU. It's our SEC Saturday night matchup. Is there anything left in the tank for LSU as Ed Ogeron makes his final journey through the SEC? Well, they took it to Alabama the other night. Not many people thought they would. That pass caught by Mookie Cooper. Gain of 6.
When you talk about LSU, the question was, where are they going to play for Coach O? How are they going to respond? And Well, obviously, you put up a great effort against Alabama, and it'll be interesting to see if you get that same kind of effort at home tonight against Arkansas.
Well, they've had some wild ones in the history of that matchup. Under a minute to go. I think a lot of eyes will be focused on Oxford tonight. Texas A&M and Ole Miss. Here's Beatty, and he will drive inside the 40. That's a first down. Boy, he's just got a nose where that line to gain is. He picks up 6.
Tough runner. I mean, probably first contact is after about 3 yards, and he's able to use his stiff arm. He's able to break tackles, and he's able to pick up a first down. In Missouri, they won't run another play. They don't have to. The play clock at 17 seconds, game clock right there at 12 seconds. They don't have to run another play.
Another 100-yard game for Tyler Beatty. 105 today. He has 3 200-yard games to his credit.
That's the end of the third quarter.
15 more minutes to play here in Columbia, Missouri. The Mayor's Cup on the line. Fourth quarter football coming up. Our great performance brought to you by State Farm, and well, the Missouri Tigers like to come out, get ready for the fight, hit the little punching bag, and that young lady on the left side of your screen there, she probably gets some workouts in. I wouldn't want to mess with that. You know that. Anybody shows up with boxing gloves, I'm going to go the other direction. Here's Beatty. Boy, he's been a fighter all day. Another 100-yard game for Tyler Beatty. He now has 23 carries. He has 5 receptions in his career, over 2,000 yards on the ground, over 1,000 yards rushing. It has just been remarkable. To think about, he was playing second fiddle behind Larry Roundtree last year. Beatty again. I tell you what, you go back a couple of years and think about Larry Roundtree, what he meant to this Missouri offense. I thought there'd be a huge gap in that run game, but Tyler Beatty has definitely made sure that there is no gap in the run game.
There really hadn't been any type of drop off, and I mean, you look at him, he's not that big of a player, but I mean, he plays so hard and obviously a strong runner as well.
Oh, big collision at the 28-yard line as Michael Wilson is hit there by Brad Johnson, one of the backup linebackers. Gain of 3, though.
Just a jet sweep, and they're able to outflank the defense there and pick up another first down.
Great vision inside the 20. I'm going to tell you something. There was a nice hole off that left side, and we haven't talked a lot about it, but this offensive line, as patched up as it is, has held their own today.
Well, they have pulled the guards, they've pulled the tackle, and we've talked about Connor Wood being that guy to be able to just make play after play on that counter play, and they have lived with it. You know, normally they're an outside zone team, and they've mixed that in, but the counter play to the left, they have lived with that play.
Couple of tight ends. On second down and short. What they decide to do here. Almost a play to mess around with, but they're just going to stay straight ahead. And it's a good one. Big hole off the right side. I don't think anybody touched Tyler Beatty. 19 yards. Keep it simple.
Definitely keep it simple. I mean, and it's just outside zone. And Dave, I agree with you when you talk about being able to hook the 3 technique, and you talk about the tackle being able to kick out on that defensive end. He walks into the end zone, and that South Carolina defense has to be tired of him, because you can fight so long, and it's outside zone, and they're coming at you downhill, And that's a lot, and they just were not able to stop Tyler Beatty that drive.
Mevis point after. It's up, and it's good. I mean, the guy is just phenomenal. 26 carries, 141 yards, a touchdown. He's had a touchdown in 9 of 10 games he's played in this year. The only time he didn't have a touchdown was last week. I wouldn't say this is the easiest, but it certainly looked easy. Tyler Beatty and company out in front now by 17. Tyler Beatty, 10th in the country in rushing, coming into this one, adding to his totals. And tell you what, if he was on a team that was, say, 6-3, 7-2, certainly that discussion for Heisman would be one we'd be having right about now. A guy that certainly should win the Heisman at some point. Our own Dari Noka in the studio. What's up, Dari?
Well, guys, it's time for our AT&T 5G studio update in Georgia. After falling behind Tennessee 7-0, has turned it on. James Cook, 10 carries, 104 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown, and it's all dogs on Rocky Top, guys.
It's almost like you got to poke Georgia just a little bit, right? And once you poke them, watch out.
Just wake them up just a little bit.
That's kind of what's happened here. Missouri, after falling behind 7-0 and really didn't play that great in the first quarter. Ever since then, they have just been dominating this game. A gain of 6. Before that pass, South Carolina had 5 yards of offense in the second half. They're now up to 11. Here's Harris. He'll fall out to the 34-yard line. 3rd down and short now. Kobe Whiteside on that tackle.
South Carolina's going fast here, trying to get back into this ball game.
And South Carolina wasn't set.
Yeah, they weren't set at the receiver spot outside. I think they were going to pick up that first down as well.
False start, offense. Not all 11 players came set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
B.J. Jenkins was trying to get on the right side of the line of scrimmage. It looked like he backed up right as they were getting ready to snap the ball.
Well, that's one of the issues when you try to go fast. And then you talk about having your 3rd quarterback into the game. I mean, that's a lot. You have to be able to look outside to make sure my receivers and everybody are set.
Well, you go from 3rd and 1 back to 3rd and 6. Well, that's the kind of night it's been for South Carolina. Brown, probably the cleanest pocket he's had all night, and a flag comes in. Maybe there's a reason why it was so clean.
Yeah, right tackle. Should decline.
Holding, offense, number 62. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
Right tackle got beat inside until he just had to pull him a little bit. Tyshawn Wanamaker filling in. Looks like South Carolina's going to go for it as well here.
Boy, 11:20 to play. And this could pretty much be the end of the game right here. Brown, there's another pressure from this Missouri defense, and that one's incomplete. That is 13 pressures put on Jason Brown, and Missouri will have an extremely short field to work with now. It has been all Tigers.
ESPN, home of the College Football Playoff semifinals. Friday, December 31st on ESPN.
Well, Eli Drinkwitz has his team gathered around, and keeping things still light and fun for his bunch on the offensive side. It's easy to do when you're up 17 and you get the football at the 29 to start your drive.
Interesting decision by Coach Beamer to go for it there in that situation. I understand that you're down, but still a lot of time on that clock.
11:13 to play. This game was tied at 14 back in the first half. Here's Beatty again, breaking another tackle. Gain of 7. This is when Missouri's just going to do what they do, and that's hold on to the football, chew up some clock. He's going to shake his head. They lost another fumble today. 13 fumbles lost for the Gamecocks. Missouri has yet to lose a fumble. Here comes Cooper around the edge, dancing around, cuts it back, and there's the fumble. Are you kidding me? All right, I've never been a believer in the announcer jinx until just now. There's no way that really just happened.
All season they haven't put it on the ground.
And I say something and look what happens. Well, I'm going to have to write them a letter and apologize for that. Goodness, that's on me.
It's the end around, and I mean, it looks like he has something here, but they just do an outstanding job. Dial just does an outstanding job of pulling that ball away. I mean, that is
serious that just happened?
That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. You talk about the 2 fumbles, but they were able to recover them earlier, and this time they're not.
All I can do is say I'm sorry and move on. Brown, nice catch. Out of the tight end spot is Nick Muse. He'll pick up 8.
A little pressure there from Missouri off of the edge. Brown sits in the pocket long enough to be able to find Muse down the field, pick up some yardage.
2nd and short. There goes White. And this run game that was so good a week ago has just not gotten on track today. South Carolina, now you got to factor in those sacks. 69 yards of lost yards in the sack department, but when you look at the total rushing today, just 21 yards on the ground. In fact, you give them the 69 yards back, it's still not a good day.
Yeah, they've just been inconsistent up front, and I know that you're missing some guys. You shuffle some guys around, but just been inconsistent.
Brown has all day to throw, going up top, looking for Van, and that one almost picked off. And that is Evans again back there. These 2 guys. Steve Wilkes wasn't lying when he said, the defensive coordinator said he was going to lock up Evans on Van.
Well, he does a nice job of staying in the hip pocket. Probably got away with a little pull of the shoulder there. Got away with a little pull of the shoulder there, but they have gone back and forth all game.
Van almost had that too.
Missouri with 2 safety high look right now.
Brown gets it underneath to Leggett. He'll pick up 3.
South Carolina having to commit an extra blocker here to give Brown some time to throw the football. See Missouri showing pressure again off of the edge.
They got 6 up on the line of scrimmage. They got 7 up on the line of scrimmage. Big run here from White. The flag will come in at the 40.
I think even if it's a holding call, you still should have enough for the first down. Well, he's moving the flag even farther back, though. Because if it's a spot foul, it still should be enough for the first down.
During the run, holding offense number 13. The penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul. After enforcement, it results in a first down.
Yeah, and so I love the call just because you have so much pressure coming off of the edge, and so the first is there, and EJ just doing a pretty good job of blocking, and it's just the last pull. But I love the call because you get pressure off of the edge and you come with counter inside. So it's basically just making one guy miss or being able to break an arm tackle, and you're able to pick up the first down.
First and 10 now for the Gamecocks. Brown.
If he throws it, yeah, there's the late flag. If he throws it, it would have been a penalty down the field, but it was a holding. It was a double move. He was running an out and up. There's the flag here. He's running an out and up. If he threw it, then the flag would have came out earlier, but the referee still throws the flag now.
Holding defense number 24. The 10-yard penalty is added to the end of the run, results in a first down. End of the run.
Well, it's Saturday, time to represent your school. Show us how big you're going today. Submit your best fan video this weekend to hashtag Show Your Saturday, and you might just get your 15 seconds of fame.
Dave, they've got to figure out where the ball went out of bounds as far as Brown when he was running. The ball should be at the 45.
They'll put it at the far hash on the 45. Brown. You know, the pocket held up pretty well there. There's nobody open downfield. McGuire forces him outside the pocket, but there was time to throw it.
Yeah, and it was a stop and go is what he wanted to originally hit, but he did not like as far as the coverage. And if you're Missouri, you know, you can kind of play soft coverage with safety help over the top in that situation, but kind of has to roll out and try to get it as far as the scramble is concerned.
On second down, here's White off the right side. He's to the 39 and pop there. So third down and about 4 coming up after that 6-yard pickup.
Muse does a nice job of blocking there. Puts you in third and manageable situation instead of third and long.
Nothing doing there. That D-line, along with some safety help from Martez Manuel, getting things accomplished for the Tigers, and now it's 4th down and 3.
Single safety high, and you're talking about Manuel being the other extra guy in the box. Able to make the play there. They're going to hurry up. Play clock at about 13, 14 seconds.
I think the game clock
is an issue as well.
7:10 to play. The clock moving on 4th down.
Got to burn a timeout.
I just took way too long. Timeout on the field. Back in a moment. Hey, don't forget, coming up after Arkansas and LSU, roughly 10:30 Eastern time, it'll be SEC football final with Dari, Gene, Chris, Benjamin. They'll break down what has been a busy evening of SEC football. But here, it's 4th down, the second one for this South Carolina team here in the 4th quarter. 7:05 to play. 2 timeouts left for the Gamecocks. Brown underneath, wide open. I mean, wide open is White. To the 10, to the 5, touchdown, 38 yards.
Dave, really nice play design here by South Carolina, and they were able to just find White, like you talked about, wide open here. He comes across, and there is nobody. I think Devin Nichols is probably the guy that had him in man-to-man coverage, and he was late. And so you talk about as a running back, White having free release out of the backfield, and he's just running an option route, and Nichols is late, and Brown does a nice job of finding him for the score.
Second touchdown pass of the day for Jason Brown. Parker White's point after is up and good. Quandre White somehow snuck free and went 38 yards. And South Carolina still alive, down 10, 6:56 to play. South Carolina cuts it to 10, 6:56 left to play here in Columbia. Temperatures have dropped dramatically. We're in the low 30s tonight. It's a real kind of cold weather game we've had.
South Carolina's lined up for the onside kick here as well.
Parker White just sends it right into an open space. And Beatty chases it all the way back there at the 12-yard line. Don't forget, coming up at 7:30 Eastern tonight, 25th ranked Arkansas takes on LSU. It's our SEC Saturday night matchup. Tom, Jordan, Cole will have the call for you. After that, it'll be SEC football final. So a good one coming your way tonight on an SEC Saturday night.
Dave, the question becomes, can this South Carolina defense create another turnover for that offense and give them a short field? You know who you're going to have to stop. They've run the counter play. Connor Wood has been the puller. They've run, obviously, the outside zone play. That was the one that Beatty was able to score on. You've got to be able to stop him. Can they come up with another turnover?
Beatty with his fourth 100-yard game of the year. Beatty with 148 yards before that carry. Well, it's been a big difference here in the second half. He was averaging 4 yards a carry on 14 rushes in the first half. He just wears you down. He's averaging 7 yards a carry on 13 rushes here in the second half.
And the question going into the game, how many touches could he have? And, obviously you talk about the regular rushes, but obviously he's being used as a receiver as well.
5 receptions, 28 carries. Baseline just letting this clock run down inside 5 seconds. Here's Beatty off the right side, and big collision there as Jalen Foster comes up for the first hit. Only a yard, so now it's 3rd down.
Really like the job there by South Carolina. Talk about Foster getting involved from his free safety position. It was the counter play, something that you knew you were going to see. See if they can come up with something here on 3rd down. So you have zone coverage. South Carolina kind of checking out of it. They're going to have to burn a timeout. Play clock at 2.
Timeout, Missouri. First charge timeout of the half.
Of course, these two teams from their respective Columbias playing for a little hardware today. I think Andrea may have found it.
Yeah, guys, I talked to Eli Drinkwitz yesterday. He said this is a gotta-have-it game. It's like an elimination game because it's the Mayor's Cup. He said there's a tangible benefit to winning this game, and it is hosting this trophy. And after practice yesterday, he brought the team to the middle, and he said focus and prepare so we can get that trophy. They've been calling it Trophy Week all night long and all week long for this thing right here.
They've had some good games in the past in this Mayor's Cup trophy. Two towns very similar in size.
Missouri called that timeout. I think they thought that they were going to get man-to-man coverage, but South Carolina was in zone and the play clock was already down to close to 0, and so Missouri calls timeout.
So on 3rd down, 4-man rush, Bazelak. That ball's popped up in the air and it's intercepted. Oh my goodness! Brad Johnson comes up with the pick, and South Carolina is in business inside the 15-yard line.
Dave, and it was Jabari Ellis who had the initial pressure inside. We talked about being able to give your offense a short field, and that's exactly what they're able to do. Jabari Ellis, he's lined up on the guard, and he's able to get this pressure here. There's a little stutter step, and he was able to hit that ball slipped. That ball just slipped out of his hand. I thought he was able to hit the quarterback's arm, but that ball looked like it just slipped. That ball just slipped. That defense comes up with another interception on the short field. Brad Johnson.
Second interception for Connor Bazelak. Now it's Jason Brown. Shotgun. Brown steps up, fires, pass caught. Down to the 5 goes Van. Or excuse me, to carry on Joyner. 5, not 6. That's a gain of 9. So Joyner sets him up second down and about a half a yard. There's the first down.
He's still not down.
No, finally the whistle. They'll spot it back at the 2-yard line.
And it looked like they spotted at the 2 or 3. They actually marked it at the 4, but he was probably at the 2. But he did get the first down.
So first and goal from the 3. Here's White. Stutter steps, touchdown. Don't look now. This has a chance to be a 3-point game with 4.5 minutes to play.
Look at the patience. You talk about White. Just look at the patience that he has. I mean, he's looking at it. It's inside zone, and I mean, he's able to just give a stutter step. And nice job, nice patience there by White. And like you said, Dave, you're a field goal away or an extra point away from having a 3-point game, and that's Chris Abrams' drain player for Missouri that's going to limp off the field.
Ooh.
That defense comes up with back-to-back turnovers, one a fumble and an interception to give their offense a short field, and mighty close here.
So here is Parker White, who's been perfect all year in point afters. Coming off a career high 4 field goals last week against the Gators. This to make it a 3-point game. And he does so. Zaquandre White, who started his career at Florida State, then transferred to Iowa Western Community College before finding his way to Columbia, South Carolina, has a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, averaging 6 yards a carry. And the Gamecocks have a fighting chance here on the road in Columbia, Missouri.
You can just see the eyes inside zone, and he has the option to be able to get it outside or hit it right there behind the center and the guard. But I mean, it's just a really nice patience play. And it all starts with this play here.
Number 14, Missouri.
And it looks like that ball just slipped out of Bazelak's hand.
Ellis was coming around the edge, and he may have just tapped it, but it's hard to really tell. But that ball just came out of there. So funny for Connor Bazelak. Not funny to South Carolina. They got the interception and the quick score.
Well, he was trying to hit Beatty underneath. And like you said, that ball just comes out funny. Now, South Carolina lines up in that same look. And it looks like Missouri's going to take a timeout as they have kind of their regular return unit on, and South Carolina kind of has their onside kick unit out there.
Gamecocks do have 2 timeouts left, so does Missouri. 4:32 to play. This is a crazy game. I mean, Missouri looked like they were just going to run out of this building with the win.
Well, they're up 17. Yeah, 17.
And just dominating, doing what they wanted to do, right? I mean, taking up time off the clock, hitting runs when they need it, getting third and short situations.
And they were in the process of just milking the game clock, and you know, the one thing that you couldn't do from an offensive standpoint was turn the football over. I mean, that Missouri offense did it on back-to-back drives, and South Carolina took advantage of it and scored.
On Drea said it a moment ago, an elimination game almost. You got to have that 6th win, right, to kind of just feel like you've accomplished something. Loose football, and Missouri will fall on it. Missouri sitting here at 4-5. South Carolina at 5-4. And after this one, South Carolina's got Auburn and Clemson. Missouri gets Florida and Arkansas, but the way things are going for the Gators, maybe you're thinking you got a shot. So Connor Bazelak now is going to sit here and watch this one as Brady Cook comes in at quarterback with 4.5 minutes to play. It was Cook and Tyler Macon against Georgia last week. He'll hand it off to Beatty. Beatty stays in bounds. Boy, you see him stop on a dime. But here comes the redshirt freshman out of St. Louis, Brady Cook. 107 yards passing on the season. Went 14 of 19, 78 yards last week against the Bulldogs. Did some good things. And if Bazelak wasn't going to go, Eli Drinkwood said this would have been Brady Cook's show today.
I don't think we were expecting to see him in this situation.
No. Play clock inside of 5 seconds. Here's Beatty, sees a little hole. It turns into a big hole. Beatty across midfield to the 40 and all the way down to the 35-yard line. Another big gainer for Tyler Beatty. Give him 31 yards on that carry.
But it's a counter play. It's another counter play, and he reads it. He sets it up perfectly, and you know, just an outstanding block up front. Bobby Lawrence, who had been in and out of that lineup, I mean, and he is hard to bring down.
Beatty now up to 188 on the ground. He is chasing another 200-yard game. That would be his 4th if he can get there this year. Look at Beatty go inside the 30, down to the 29. He just doesn't stop.
Even he's not a big guy. I mean, he's 5'8". They list him at 194. Looks like it's going to be a timeout. But I mean, he's not a very big guy, and if you don't grab him low, you know, you can try to grab him high and try to bring him down, but if you don't grab him low, good luck. I mean, because he runs with a low center of gravity, and he's a special player. He's been amazing to watch.
32 carries, 194 yards, averaging 6 yards per carry. Not to mention 5 catches for another 22 yards.
And you know he's going to get the football. That's the most impressive part about it. You know he's going to get the football, and you still can't stop him. South Carolina's got to sell out here to stop this run. You know, and if you're Missouri, you're probably thinking play action in a normal situation.
2nd down and 3. Beatty turns the corner. 1st down. Just enough.
It's going to
give
be a
him
flag.
5 yards.
You got a flag on the field. Should be holding. Right there on the edge.
Yeah, wave it off. They're gonna. It's over there, right on the 30-yard line on the numbers.
Holding offense number 76. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, 2nd down.
We've talked about that outside zone, and that's a hard block for Foster. He's got to hook that defensive end in that particular play. Ends up holding. I talked about a normal situation. Normally you would have some type of play action off of that, but when you've got Tyler Beatty in the backfield, just hand it to him. Let him be able to pick up that 1st down. Now with the holding call, you kind of put him behind the chains a little bit. Both teams only having 1 timeout.
Cook will keep it. He will slide down around the 30-yard line. They'll put it at the 29. That's a 10-yard pickup.
I think South Carolina's using that last timeout they have. They are. Really smart move by Brady there. And he talked about him having the ability to be able to run, but instead of going out of bounds there and stopping the clock, he slides, keeps the clock moving, and it forced South Carolina to kind of use that timeout. And you have to stop them here on this third down and force them to kick that field goal, because it would then give you an opportunity to come back down and score, and you kick that extra point. You know, if they get the first down here, it's pretty much the ball game.
Well, you like your field goal kicker.
You like your field goal kicker.
Harrison Mevis, who until last week had made 20 straight field goals. So had the longest streak going in the FBS until last week and missed it for the first time.
Yeah, and Brady hadn't taken a pass. Cook hadn't taken a pass so far yet since he's been in the game. Everything has been a run or, you know, just handing it off to Beatty.
Third down and 3. There's Beatty inside the 20, and that will do it. Gamecocks cannot stop the clock. Tyler Beatty picks up 11 yards, and he is up over 200, and he continues. Nobody had ever had 3 200-yard rushing games in Missouri history in a season. Now they have 4 is the new record set by Tyler Beatty.
The left side of that offensive line just caved down. Like I said, Brady Cook had not taken a pass. Everything's just been handoffs, and it's paid off for him.
And Beatty with that carry inside the 15. Boy, it just was offensively, South Carolina just didn't have any rhythm. They had a great, I wouldn't say great, but a very efficient opening drive. Actually, a second drive. They threw an interception on the first possession, got the ball back, went 8 plays, 45 yards for that touchdown. Looked good, had another drive, looked pretty good. Got snuffed out late, though, with an interception, and that's when things kind of turned in this game.
And it really felt like South Carolina was going to be up, 14-0. There were some boo birds in this stadium earlier. The fans not happy with Missouri offense early, and they were able to hold on and get it together.
Here is Cook, just going to stay in bounds.
12, Brady Cook, the ball carrier.
It's an interesting, decision there by Cook. I mean, I know you want to burn some time off the clock. And here you can just take a knee. You wanted to burn some time off the clock, but you normally tell them to go in and just slide, not get close to the sideline and have that possibility of getting tackled out of bounds.
I think they were doing the math. They needed to chew up about 3 seconds to make this all work.
Yeah, it's a delay of game. Well, they have to burn a timeout because they're running guys out on the field. Tyler Beatty is coming off the field.
Missouri.
Missouri had to burn a timeout. Tyler Beatty is coming out off the field.
Tyler Beatty getting a lot of hugs and congratulatory pats on the helmet. It has been a crazy day. Another one. I mean, I've said it over and over again. This guy is he's amazing. He is absolutely amazing. And as we take a look at the MVP of the game, brought to you by Sports Clips, and it's pretty easy to pick out who will get that today, and that is Tyler Beatty. What a day he has had. 34 for 209, another 5 receptions. I mean, he doesn't possess the power maybe that you see other guys. He doesn't possess maybe the speed that some other guy had. But his whole package, Deuce, is just awesome to watch.
Yeah, he's an every down back, all-around back. He can obviously catch the football. He does an outstanding job of running the football, and he breaks tackles. He makes people miss, and we saw a lot of the stiff arm of him today as well.
Well, a big win for Eli Drinkwitz and company puts him at the 5-win spot. 1 away from a bowl game. South Carolina They still need to pick up one more win, either over Auburn or Clemson, to head to a bowl game. And there is Tyler Beatty, our Sports Clip MVP today. And a good win for Missouri. They're now 5-5 on the year, and that's the exact same total for this South Carolina. And the Mayor's Cup stays right here in Columbia, Missouri. Akil Byers getting the honors, taking it over to the students. So the final score, 31-28. The Tigers able to win it. Let's go down to Andrea, who has Coach alongside.
Coach, you called it Trophy Week all week long. How important was winning the Mayor's Cup for your team?
Yeah, it's pretty important. Our student section over there, it was awesome. It's never easy, but a win's a win.
And this is the 4th 200-yard game for Tyler Beatty. How special is he?
He's really special. I mean, we put the game on his shoulders again, just like against Vanderbilt, and he delivered.
And for your team, what do you want to build on from here, especially the defensive performance?
Well, winning. I mean, you want to build on winning. We held him to 57 yards rushing. You know, if we don't turn the ball over there, it's a lot different, but we did, and our defense found a way to stop him.
Coach, congrats on the Mayor's Cup.
Thank you very much. MIZ.
Dinner will taste a little bit nicer for Coach Drinkwitz tonight. Florida Gators coming here next week. Connor Bazelak not 100%. Couldn't finish this one out, but a good win. Tyler Beatty's 4th 200-yard game this season. He joins Derrick Henry and Leonard Fournette as the only SEC players with 4 such games in a season since 2000. Pretty impressive company, I would say, for Mr. Beatty. So the win goes to the Tigers, 31-28 our final score. So producer McAllister, Andrea Carter, the rest of our crew, I'm Dave Neal saying so long